What is going on, guys? Big Juicy Pickle here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome back to Metal Mondays. Today we have 10 incredible Asking Alexandria facts. Would have picked a different band, but they're my all-time favorites. So yeah, we're gonna... Shut up. We'll start at the very beginning. They were formed in 2006 by Ben Bruce, the guitar player, in Dubai. But then he moved back to where he was originally from, in York, England, and the band ended, and he kept the name when he reformed the band in 2008. Fact number 2. Dennis Stoff is the worst thing that has ever happened to Asking Alexandria, and I am so glad he's gone. Fact number 3. Asking Alexandria once played a show in 2012 in Seattle when the lead singer, Danny Worsnop, was so drunk he physically could not perform, and at some point during the concert he actually hit one of the crowd members. They later came back to perform another show there for free to make up for it. Fact number 4. Originally, Asking Alexandria, well, not completely originally, but in 2008 when they came back, they were actually a 6-member band when they had Joe Lancaster in the band. Joe Lancaster left the band, and they did not replace him. They just got rid of his part as, I'm pretty sure, a keyboardist. Now they're a 5-man band. Alexandria's 2008 lineup consisted of Ben Bruce, Danny Worsnop, Cameron Little, James Castles, Joe Lancaster, and Ryan Binns. Very late 2008, Lancaster and Binns left the band, and then came Sam Bentley in 2009, which he is an amazing bass player and I love him. Number 6 or 7, I don't know, I'll figure it out when I'm editing. Their albums. They released Stand Up and Scream in 2009, and it was the greatest album I've ever heard in my entire life. I love it so much. It's more on the emo side of metal, though. It's not. It's more screamo than metal. It's not metal, but they're still not really full-on metal. But they really increased it a lot in the next album, and the next album after that is more of a, like, earlier metal, kind of, in a way. But Stand Up and Scream was released in 2009, and it had a lot of electronic sounds in it, which then had them labeled as electronic core, which was very popular at the time. In 2011, they released the album Reckless and Relentless. That was... It was a really good album. Some of my favorite songs of all time are off that album. Still like Stand Up and Scream more, though. It had a lot more of a metal feel. Danny's voice had matured a lot more in it. So, in a way, the vocals were better, but at the same time, he'll never have a high scream like he did in Stand Up and Scream. His low scream was better in Reckless and Relentless, but his highs, they've never been better than Stand Up and Scream, and they never will be. In 2013, Danny Worsnop's last album with them was From Death to Destiny, where their lyrics matured a lot, and Danny had in 2012, I'm not even gonna say it, I'm gonna use that as the next fact actually, but Danny's voice had gotten a lot more raspy in that album, and it had a lot more of a metal feel to it. Like it just flat out felt like a metal album, and it was really good too. All of their albums are good except the Black. Which brings us to the next album. 2015 they released The Black, which was their first and only album with Dennis Stoff. Thank God it was their only. I mean, he's a talented human being. He has amazing screams, amazing singing voice. He can hit high notes much better than I can. I can't even hit high notes, but still, he's like a really good vocalist. But just him as a human being, I hate. So I'm very glad he's gone. And then right now, they have just recently actually released that they are going to be recording an album. It's completely written, ready to record. They haven't said what it's going to be called. All they've said is that they have an album recorded, or they're starting to record an album. They have it fully written. So I'm pretty hyped for that, and it's with Danny again. Fact number something, I don't know. Next fact. Danny Worsnop in 2012, he had torn a vocal cord, and I would say it destroyed his voice forever, but I kind of like his clean vocal voice now more than ever. It just sounds so unique and cool. It's just so raspy. It's nice, but his screams are not as good. They're still amazing. Still better than mine will ever be, but I liked his old ones better. They're not as good. Next fact, on the Reckless and Relentless album, they had a song called Someone Somewhere. That song was very meaningful. The first verse was written about Ben Bruce's grandfather, who basically motivated him to play music and got him into playing music in general. And the second verse was about his parents, and he said in an interview he felt like he wasn't there enough, and he never had a good relationship with his parents. And he was kind of just apologizing for that. And the chorus was, it was about him, and like how no matter how much it feels like he is alone, he knows that someone is there hoping that he's alright. Next fact would be, the next fact is that Danny Worsnop left the band in early 2015 because just they disagreed musically. So he just left and later started, or really soon after that, started a band, We Are Harlot, that was kind of classic rock style, and then made a solo album that was more of a country project. And he said he's not done with projects, he wants to play everything. And then followed by that, Dennis Stoff joined to replace him. Everybody was hyped about it at first, kind of, like, we missed Danny, but at the same time it was cool to kind of see a different style of Asking Alexandria, and he was good, so I was happy about that at first. But then when he left, the way he left was not like your average leaving a band. He did not call, he did not text, he did not answer any messages. He was home. They had a tour that they were supposed to be doing, and he would not respond to any messages or anything. And then he later responded finally with asking Alexandria will not something along the lines of asking Alexandria will not be asking Alexandria until I get what's owed to me, which they were all so confused, and they asked him what he was talking about and never got a response, and that's how he left the band.
I'ma smash you up.
And he's really stupid for that, because like a month before that he got an Asking Alexandria tattoo on his arm. Then Danny Worsnop joined back in the middle of a tour, and he's here to stay. And I'm so happy about that. In very late 2016, Ben Bruce had a daughter. Yeah. And since then, he has now had a YouTube series. Basically, they just follow him around with a camera, recording everything he does for a day. They're like 2-minute long videos. They're actually somewhat interesting, called Daddy Diaries. Most of it's spending time with his family. Haven't tuned into it in a while, but what I've seen of it was actually pretty interesting. Like, they had in their emo night, and they played a bunch of emo songs. They played like My Chemical Romance and a bunch of really good songs. So, if you guys liked the video, like the video. If you hated the video, like the video. If you don't care, like the video. Subscribe if you're new. This has been Big Juicy Pickle. Goodbye.